Okay guys, this might have been my favorite chapter so far. It felt a lot longer than the last chapters for some reason, and it's probably because we get so much revealed to us in this one chapter that I can't wait to jump into it with you guys. But first, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell to never miss out on any of my Samurai 8 videos. I do these every Monday, a day after the new chapter releases, and with all that said, let's jump into this video. This chapter starts off with Hachimaru and friends putting Kotsuga in handcuffs, so I'm assuming he'll be most likely thrown in jail along with Ben once all of this is over, but first they need to take down Ben. We finally get to know the true connection between Kotsuga and Ben. I initially thought they were just partners, but no, Ben is indeed Kotsuga's guardian. As he says here, Ben was a subordinate of my father's, and after my father died, he became my guardian and teacher. Now, that means Ben has known Kotsuga majority of his life, and they should have a long history together. So for Kotsuga just to come out and call him a money-making teacher is really funny. In a brief talk about his sensei, Hachimaru reveals that Daruma has the tendency to fall asleep at important times due to his cat-like body. That is interesting because as we speak right now, Daruma is currently up above the planet fighting Ben. Them two, Ben started fighting like last chapter, and it looks like Ben can actually hold his own against Daruma, because Ben is using multiple different styles of attacks. However, Daruma can see through this and reveals Ben's true secret. So it appears that Ben was actually collecting samurai keys to sell, but at the same time keeping the very strong ones for himself to make himself more stronger. Which begs the question, was Ben able to become a samurai after all? Because it would make a lot of sense if he wasn't. Then the bond between him and Kotsuga should be even stronger because they both weren't able to become samurai. And I've always kind of liked stories with the guardian and the kid with the bad tragic backstory plot, because mostly those types of characters come out on either side of the spectrum depending on how their guardian raised them, either becoming a really bad kid but strong, or a really good kid and even stronger. Kind of like how Zabuza was to Haku and how Jiraiya was to Naruto. Sorry, I'm rambling, but anyways, back to the chapter. In the middle of Daruma shaming Ben for using other people's powers and not his own, Ben transforms and uses a key holder called Oniwakimaru, which he claims to be the strongest key holder in existence, which I honestly don't believe, and it will probably be outdone in power later on in the story. Ben then launches an attack at Daruma, which leaves him pretty damaged to the point where he's about to enter sleep mode. So it would actually seem that Daruma cannot sustain too much damage or unleash too much power, or it will tire out his body activating sleep mode. That attack that Ben did hits the planet right next to Hachimaru and Kotsuga, and it seems that I'm always eating my words once again, because this man Ben doesn't even care about Kotsuga's well-being at all. He states that anyone who cannot strike down companions are weak, so he really doesn't care if he kills Kotsuga by accident. Those words, I guess, resonate with Daruma as we get to see another flashback of Daruma's master once again, which I honestly don't think we've ever gotten her name, to be honest, but I'm starting to like her. She might even be my favorite character just based off looks. I hope that she actually is still alive, because I would love to see her meet Hachimaru later in the story and help him with his quest. But in this flashback, we are told what really happened in Daruma's past. So apparently the Ususama, which I believe is a clan maybe, was going after Daruma because he was so strong. And that caused Ata, as his disciple at the time, to betray him, and that also led to the death of his princess Baku. Like, damn man, that's so tragic. And they also locked him into a cat body. Like, I wouldn't even want to be a samurai after all that if that was me, like, honestly. But in the flashback, she gives him a piece of her samurai soul and says that he is ready to gain the ultimate secret, the mind's eye. This part right here I cannot wait for it. When this show finally gets an anime adaptation, this part is going to be so hype. Daruma pulls out that piece of her samurai soul and begins to activate it, but he drops his sword as he's starting to fall asleep. His master warned him to only use this when he has a trustworthy disciple to help him. In that moment, Hachimaru catches his fallen sword, throws it back at Daruma, calling out to his master. Daruma catches it and awakens his true form. You guys cannot tell me that this isn't hype. Like, bro, this was so epic to read. Like, we haven't seen Daruma's true form since the very first chapter. And in this form, I'm sure Daruma can unleash all his full power without worrying about falling asleep or getting tired or any of that, which is great. It's so insane. But the biggest downside to all of this is that it can only last for about 10 minutes. Which is insane. Like, does that mean he won't be able to do this again after this fight? I don't know. That shit sounds like so insane. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss out on the next week's chapter. I'll see you guys in the next video.